Hello, my dear students. Welcome you all to the second division class on the second unit, that is lathe and its operations. In the previous class, we studied about the lathe operations, about lathe classification, etc. Today we will study the remaining in this division class. Today we will study remaining thing in that the taper turning by compound rest method. In this method of taper turning, the workpiece is rotated parallel to the lathe axis and feeding the tool at an angle to the axis of rotation of the workpiece as shown in the figure. The tool mounted on the compound rest, which is attached to the circular base graduated in degrees. The base can be swiveled and clamped at any desired angle as shown in the figure. After setting the compound rest at the desired half angle, the tool is fed by compound rest hand wheel, which will generate corresponding taper on a rotating job in a chuck or face plate or between the centers. The compound rest may be swiveled at 45 degrees on either side of lathe axis. By this method, step taper turning can be generated on small lengths of job. The tool movement is controlled by hand. Here, like this, the taper turning by compound rest is turned. The next one is the taper turning by taper turning attachment. In this method, the tool is guided in a straight path set at an angle to the axis of rotation of workpiece, while workpiece is being revolved between centers or by chuck aligned to the lathe axis. It consists of a bracket or a frame which is attached to the rear end of the lathe bed and supports a guide bar pivoted at the center. The bar has graduations in degrees. It can be swiveled on either side of the zero graduation and set at desired angle with lathe axis. The cross slide is first made free from the lead screw by removing the binder screw, so the tool mounted will forms the angular path as per setting of guide block. And this is about the taper turning by taper turning attachment. Here next is thread cutting attachment or thread cutting operation. Here it is the operation to produce a helical groove on a cylindrical surface by feeding the tool longitudinally with the work is revolving between centers or by a chuck. On the lathe, internal and external threads are cut either with the help of a thread tool or with the help of tap and die respectively. There should be a certain relation between job revolution and the revolutions of the lead screw to control linear movement of the tool parallel to the job when the half nut is engaged with the lead screw. The tool should be ground to the proper shape or profile of the thread to be cut. In modern lathes, quick change gearbox is provided which different ratios of the spindle and lead screws are made on that. Here the lead screw is engaged with the what here carriage and produce the threads on the cylindrical job. Here the figure shows the spindle gear is connected as driver gear and lead screw gear is considered as driven gear by changing the suitable gears. The lead screw speed can be changed. Often the engine lathes are equipped with the set of gears ranging from 20 to 120 teeth in steps of 5 teeth and one gear with 127 teeth. The type of gear connection in a lathe may be simple or compound. In simple gear train, gear on the spindle drives direct through the intermediate gear to the gear on the lead screw. The intermediate intermediate gears are to simply transmit the motion and have no effect on the speed ratio as shown in the figure. Here next is lathe accessories. Here lathe accessories are divided into two categories: work holding, supporting and driving devices, and next is cutting tool holding devices. Work holding and tool holding devices, there are two categories. In work holding category, lathe centers, checks, face plates, mandrels, steady and follow rests, lathe dogs, drive plates are there. And in the second one, cutting tool categories, straight and offset tool holders, threading tool holders, boring bars, turret type tool. Here work holding devices are the work holding attachments such as 3-jaw chucks, collect, check and centers can be held in the spindle. Work is held in the lathe with a number of methods. Between two centers, the workpiece is driven by a device called a dog. This method is suitable for parts with high length to diameter ratio. A 3-jaw self-centering check is used for most operations on cylindrical work parts. For parts with high length to diameter ratio, the part is supported by center on the other end. Collet consists of tubular bushing with longitudinal slits. Collets are used to grasp and hold bar stock. A collet of exact diameter is required to match any bar stock diameter. A faceplate is a device used to grasp parts with irregular. Next is mandrels. The mandrels are the devices used for holding and rotating a hollow workpiece between the centers which has been previously drilled or bored. The ends of a mandrel are slightly smaller in diameter and flattened to give effective gripping surface to the workpiece. Here in the figure, different types of mandrels are shown. In that, first one is solid mandrel. The solid mandrel consists of steps of different diameters to drive the different workpieces of different sizes of holes without replacing the mandrel each time. These are useful for turning collars, washers and old sized jobs. Next one is gang mandrel. This mandrel is used for holding set of hollow workpieces between two collars. As shown in this figure, there are 3 workpieces are held on the mandrels. This mandrel has a fixed collar at one end and a movable collar at the threaded end. After inserting the hollow workpieces over the mandrel, the movable collar is tightened by means of nut as shown in the figure. Then third one is cone mandrel. It consists of a solid cone attached to the one end of the body and sliding cone which can be adjusted by rotating a nut at a threaded end. It is used for holding the workpiece having different hole diameters as shown in the figure. Next, lathe centers. Work to be turned between the centers must have center hole drilled in each end. Provides bearing surface support during cutting. Most common have solid Morse taper shank, 60-degree centers, steels with carbide tips. Care to be taken to adjust and lubricate occasionally. Here, the next is check. Check is a device used for holding the workpiece, particularly of short length and large diameter of a irregular shape, which cannot be conveniently mounted between centers. It can be attached to the lathe by screwing on the spindle nose. The different types of checks are here: 3-jaw, universal check, 4-jaw, independent check, collect check. Here, the 3-jaw universal check is, in 3-jaw universal check, all the 3 jaws moves simultaneously and turning a key in any one of the 3 pinions which meshes with scroll disc. When the disc rotates, all the three jaw moves backward and forward by an equal amount, and it holds round and hexagonal work and grasp work quickly and accurate within few thousandths per inch. Three jaw move simultaneously when adjusted check wrench, and here thus the workpiece may be automatically held in centers by check opening. It is used for holding round hexagonal bar or other symmetrical workpiece as shown in the figure. Next is 4-jaw independent check. A 4-jaw independent check is has 4 jaws, and each jaw is independently actuated and registered a key for holding the job. These type of checks are used for holding irregular shapes, rough castings of square or octagonal and such a jobs where a hole is to be positioned off the center. Each jaw is made up of 3 inner and 1 outer gripping surface. The outer gripping surface is used for holding larger size of workpiece by reversing the jaw. Next is collect check. It is used for holding bars of small sizes below 63 mm in production work where the quick setting and accurate centering is needed. Then magnetic check. A simple front view of a magnetic check is shown there. These are the operated either electrically or of permanent magnetic type. These are used for holding very thin workpiece made up of magnetic material which cannot be held in any other check. The holding power of the check is obtained by magnetic flux radiating either from electromagnets or from the permanent magnets within the check. Here next is capstan and turret lathes. These lathes are advanced development of engine lathe. The capstan and turret lathe is used to manufacture many number of identical pieces in a minimum time. The construction and working principle of capstan and turret lathes are same. The capstan lathes are used to light and small jobs, and turret lathes are used for heavy and large. In turret lathe, the hexagonal turret is directly mounted on the saddle and whole unit moves back and forth on the bedways to give feed. These lathes are heavier in construction and are used for large diameter, heavier bars work and checking work. The machine accommodates longer workpiece than that in the capstan lathe. It is suitable for heavy and large jobs. The turret lathe is suitable for heavy and large jobs. The turret is mounted on saddle which slides directly on the bed. The saddle directly slides over the entire length of a bed carrying turret. Longer work can be machined on the turret lathe here. Some lathes have overhang type cross slide, and here heavy turret lathes are equipped with power checks. The turret lathe machines are capable of carrying out multiple cutting operations on the same workpiece. As shown in the figure, several cutting tools are mounted on a tetra, penta or hexagonal turret which replaces the tailstock. These tools can be rapidly brought into action against the workpiece one by one, indexing the turret. The next is capstan lathe. It is suitable for light and small jobs. The turret is mounted on ram which slides over the saddle. The travel of the turret depends on the length of travel of ram. Only short length workpiece can be machined on this capstan lathe. The construction provides non-rigidity to the tool supports. It works under light cutting condition, capable of turning only 60 mm diameter of bar stock. Here no crosswise movement to the turret is there here, and this capstan lathe is not equipped with power operated checks. It consists of hexagonal turret on a ram. The ram slides longitudinally on saddle positioned and clamped on a lathe bed base which also slides over the lathe bed longitudinally. The tools are mounted on the square turret and 6 pieces of hexagonal turret. The feeding movement is obtained when the ram moves from left to right, and when ram moves backward, the turret indexes automatically and the tool mounted on the next phase comes into operation. Here the comparison of turret and engine lathe. Here in turret lathes, relatively more robust and heavy duty machines work on checking type jobs held in the quick acting checks, and capstan lathes are generally deal with short or long rod type blanks held in collect. The turret lathe is heavy turret being mounted on the saddle which directly slides with larger stroke length on the main bed. In capstan lathe, the turret travels with limited stroke length within a saddle type guide block called auxiliary bed, which is clamped on the main bed. In a turret lathe, one additional guide rod or pilot bar is provided on the headstock of the turret lathes to ensure rigid axial travel of the turret head. Whereas in turret lathes, external threads are generally cut if required by a single point or multi-point chasing tool being mounted on the front side and moved by short lead screw. And in capstan lathe, external screw threads are cut in capstan lathe if required using a set of opening die being mounted in one face of the turret. Next, the automatic lathes. The automatic lathes are the machine tools in which the components are machined automatically. In automatic lathes, the working cycle is fully automatic and which is repeated to produce duplicate parts without participation of the operator. All the working and idle operations are performed in definite sequence by the control system adopted in the automatic, which is set up to suit a given work. Strictly speaking, the machine is not fully automatic since operator is required to load the machine for a batch of parts and start each cycle. Here in this single spindle automat, and it is also called as Swiss type automatic screw machine. In this machine, here sliding headstock machine is here in this machine, and this machine is also known as sliding headstock machine because the headstock is movable and tools are fixed. These machines are used for machining long, accurate parts of smaller diameter in between 4 mm to 25 mm. It consists of sliding headstock with collect check, tool bracket, guide bush, bell cam, tool cams, camshaft, and special attachment as shown in the figure. The machine does step, straight and taper and back end form cutting with special attachment. Centering, drilling and reaming operation can also performed on this. All tools can work at a once and piece is finished in one pass and making the time short for the most of the work. The stock is held by a rotating collect in the hand stock in the headstock, and all longitudinal feeds are obtained by ram which moves the headstock as a unit. The rotating bar stock is fed through a hard bushing in the center of the tool head. This is about the working of Swiss type automatic automat or Swiss type automatic screw machine. The next is multi-spindle automatics. These machines are the fastest type of production machines and are made in a variety of models with 2, 4, 5, 6 or 8 spindles. More than one workpiece can be machined simultaneously by loading the workpiece on all these spindles. Each spindle is provided with its own set of tools. Here in this parallel action automatics or multi-flow machine is there. Here in this type of machine, the same operation on each spindle and workpiece is finished in each spindle in one working cycle. It means that as many workpieces are simultaneously machined as there are spindles. Such machines have a very high rate of production but may be applied for very simple work only. Since the whole machining process takes place at one position, these machines are usually automatic cutting of bar type machines as shown in the figure and are used to produce the same work as single spindle automatic cut off machine. In multi-spindle automatics, another one is what? Progressive action automatics. In these machines, the blanks clamped in each spindle are machined progressively in station after station, as shown in the figure. The headstock is mounted at the left end of the base, which contains the spindle carrier. Independent side tool slides are provided on both sides of the spindle carrier. The end tool slide, which accommodate tooling for all the spindles, travels on the spindle carrier stem. The number of these slides equal to the number of spindles. The spindles carry the collects and bars from which the workpiece are machined. The bar stock is fed through the spindle from the rear. A 6-spindle progressive action is shown in the figure. The spindle carrier indexes on its own axis by 60 degrees at each tool retraction. As the spindle carrier indexes, it carries the work from station to station where the various tools operate on it. The stock moves around the circle in counterclockwise direction from station number and returns to the station number 6 for cutting off. A finished component is obtained at each time the spindle carries indexes. Here, this completes the second unit, that is lathe and its operation. Remaining we'll study in the next revision class. Thank you, my dear students.